What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Forgo, and I do apologize, guys, for bringing this video to you so late, but I have been just so busy, and I really wanted to get some research done before I gave you guys my opinion about this banner that we received a few days ago. And this is actually pretty damn insane because this is a 100% banner for all of these characters in here. This is crazy. All of these characters are going to be available in here. I mean, you got Garnet, Chrome, Luna, Rosetta, Lucia, Bianca, Alpha, Nanami, and Karenina, Lee, Kamoy, and Liv, which is pretty insane, guys. Really awesome that we have a 100% banner. More than likely, I'm probably going to end up going for Lucia. Before you do your pulls, if you haven't already done them, guys, I want to provide you with a little bit of information. So the first piece of information that I want to give you guys is this right here. So this is a roadmap of the characters that we're going to be getting in the future. So the next update is going to be Palau, then it's going to be Nanami, all right, and so on and so on and so on. Hakma, then Karenina, and so on and so on and so on, right? And the reason I'm putting this up for you guys is because if we follow the CN version of this game, we're going to be getting 3 selectors from now until Alpha. We're going to be getting 3 selectors. The first selector we're going to be getting during Nanami's event. The second selector we're going to be getting during Bianca's event. And then the third selector we're going to be getting during Alpha's event, okay? So it's Nanami's the first one, Bianca's the second, and then Alpha's the third if we follow the CN version of the game. So we've got 3 selectors coming now. Who's going to be on those selectors? Well, on the selector for Nanami and Bianca, it's going to be these characters right here. You're going to have Liv Luminance, Lee, Karenina, Nanami. You're going to have Kamoy, Alpha, Bianca, Lucia, Rosetta, and Luna. Now, here's the thing, guys. By the time we get to the point where we end up, going against Gundam Nanami and the selector is going to show up, the only relevant characters at that point are really going to be Bianca, Lucia, Rosetta, and Luna, and Alpha. That's pretty much it. But you have to understand that whenever Bianca shows up, she's actually going to replace Alpha. So, Bianca's going to be showing up, around September, something like that this year. So you really have to weigh out, do you really want to pull for Alpha if you don't have her right now? Or do you just want to be patient and wait to pull for Bianca? You really have to think about what you want to do. But I can tell you guys, Bianca will shatter this version of Alpha. She will, as far as your physical team is concerned. But Lucia Plume, Rosetta, and Luna all remain relevant, all remain metas, and Liv Luminance all remain metas on the CN version even to the date, right? CN is about over a year ahead of Global. So if you don't have Lucia, Rosetta, or Luna, just know that there will be a selector in the future where you can just pick the character, guys. You don't have to use your black cards for them, and it's going to be during the Gundam Nanami event. That is not that far away. So really, I would actually advise you guys not to pull for anyone in this banner except for maybe Vera Garnet or Chrome. Those would be the 2 big dogs because you're going to be able to get Liv Luminance from a future selector. You're going to be able to get Lucia Plume from a selector. You're going to be able to get Rosetta from a selector. You're going to be able to get Luna from a selector. All of which are in the current banner right now, guys. Bianca is going to be relevant for a good while until Alpha shows up, which is around February of next year. So do keep that in mind, guys. Like, Bianca's still going to be a meta character to use up until that point, unless you want to keep using Bianca. But I can tell you, Alpha just outshines you. So remember, the selectors that I'm showing you in the bottom right-hand corner, these are the characters going to be on those 2 selectors for the Gundam Nanami event and for the Bianca event. And as far as what's going to be on the selector for the Alpha event, I'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys right now. And let me go ahead and kind of minimize this here a little bit, so that way you guys can get a better view of what's going on here. Let me kind of squeeze this up a little bit there. There you go. So now you guys can see the selector that we're going to be getting during the Alpha event. And that's going to have Liv Luminance, Lee, Karenina, Nanami, Kamoy, of course, Alpha, Bianca, Lucia, Rosetta, Luna, Chrome, Vera, and then, of course, Liv and Selena, which is pretty cool. So these 4 on the very bottom are going to be added to the very last selector. Now, it is going to be a long time, guys. This selector is going to show up during around February of next year before this selector actually shows up. So really the only characters that I can recommend for you guys to pull out of this banner, unless you don't have specific characters, really would be Chrome if you don't have him, Vera, because both of those characters remain relevant up until this point. And the thing about Selena is, during during February of next year, granted, a year from now, almost a year from now, those extra 30 shards are going to help, get your character more leveled up, which is actually pretty damn cool. But knowing, what's going to be on these selectors, what characters is going to be on the selectors, I hope will help provide you guys with the insight that you actually need to pull for the right characters in these banners, guys. I mean, seriously, try to figure out which one of these you need, because in my opinion, guys, I mean, if you don't have Vera, she's still meta, guys. Chrome is still meta. Luna is still meta, guys. Over a year from now, still is. If you don't have her, Rosetta is going to get a rework, a buff later on. She ends up, she's meta right now. She's always going to be meta on physical team. Lucia, still meta. But unfortunately, Bianca, guys, is going to get outshined next February by the new alpha. This alpha is going to get outshined by Bianca around September. Unfortunately, guys, Nanami is going to be outshined very, very soon by Gundam Nanami, Karenina. I cannot recommend you guys pulling for these characters unless they're their favorite, unless you really want to, but I would never recommend pulling for them. And I wouldn't recommend pulling for Lee because he's a physical character. Alpha is just better than him. And again, Bianca's going to be showing up around September, but Liv Luminance will be a meta character in the future on the physical team. She's going to get a buff in the future. So whether you go with Liv Luminance, whether you go with Lucia Plume, Rosetta, Luna, whether you go with Chrome, Vera, these are all going to be really the best choices for you if you decide to pull for any of these characters in here. But as you guys saw, with those selectors, all these characters are going to be available in the future. The only ones that aren't going to be available in these next upcoming selectors are going to be Selena, Liv, Vera, and Chrome, all right? Luna and Rosetta and Lucia Plume and Liv Luminance are going to be available on 2 more selectors that are going to show up within this year. So again, 2 of the characters that are in this banner right now, you could, choose, from these selectors that are going to be coming up throughout the next year. So, I mean, if you're going to pull in this banner, guys, honestly, it's really Chrome, Vera. Those are really the main characters that I would go for. And I would actually advise you guys to just save your black cards, because you can actually pull for Rosetta on one of those selectors. You could pull for Lucia Plume. You could pull for Luna, right? All characters of which meta, even to this day. This selector that I'm showing you right now, unfortunately, won't show up till next February. And that's why I say Chrome, Vera are really going to be the best choices, or Liv Luminance from this current banner that we have right now. So hopefully that will provide some insight for you guys as far as maybe who you'd want to pull from this particular banner. And it really depends, guys, on, where you're at in the game, what characters you have, how much you want to level up the characters. I mean, there's going to be players that's going to want triple S characters and so on. So they might pull in this banner and then know that them selectors are coming. I mean, if you got your character at double S and you pull for one of your characters here right now, and know that they're going to come in selectors upcoming in the future, you can easily triple S them, guys, right? Keep that in mind, right? If you already have a double S Plume and you pull for her in this banner, you'll get those 30 shards. And then you got 2 more selectors that are going to be coming up within this year. You could use those extra 2 selectors, get 60 more shards, and take her to triple S. And really the same thing can be said for Chrome if you already have them at double S. So there's a lot of ways you can go about doing this as far as, maybe pulling in this banner. But I really wanted to get this video out for you guys, provide you kind of a roadmap as far as the future characters that are going to be coming, what selectors are going to be coming, and which during events those selectors are going to be coming, so you have a better grasp on what you need to do in this particular banner, whether or not you're going to pull or not. So guys, let me know how y'all doing in the game, and let me know if this helps you out. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.